Hey guys, Skippy here. 2 weeks again have gone by. Wish I could blame the holidays, like as usual, my excuses. It was partially the holidays. I'm also a little under the weather, got a little cold, but so anyway, I'm gonna try to, since we're in December now, well actually it's January 2nd, 2026 while I record this video. I'm gonna put out two back-to-back videos. I don't want to make them too long. So I'm going to do like September, October, and then I'm going to do November and December. Just to wrap up the year, we'll be caught up. And then I can do the next video after that's going to be a year-end recap plus looking at 2023, 2024 as well, just to show you like what how things shook out for me as far as what I spent. It's going to be pretty accurate. It's going to be a very accurate depiction of what I've spent over 3 years. So hopefully this will help you guys to get an idea of what actually happens as opposed to what I wanted to happen. Again, everybody is different, so this is kind of like, this is about me, right? Not about you, but hopefully it gives you an idea of what's going to happen if you move here. Um, Also, I am going to Pattaya from January 15th to the 22nd for a week. Go see my friends. Also, I'm going to go see my doctor that I had when I was down there before. He's got all my records and everything. I just want to get a checkup, basically, right? Um, anyway, let's get into it. So anyway, about the Pattaya thing, yeah, I'll be doing I think I'm getting two different hotels. I'm breaking it up 3 days in one, 4 days in another, just to do a couple hotel reviews. I may switch it to just one hotel, I'm not sure yet. But in any case, you can look forward to a Pattaya trip coming up soon on the channel. Anyway, okay, let's get into it. September 2025, my budget is 70,000 Thai baht. Electric was 1834.14. No water bill, that's every 2 months. Cooking gas, nothing for that. My catch-all for general spending every day to day, going out to restaurants, going food shopping, or whatever else you need. That came in at 35, 578, 50. Um, this one of the, if you've been to Thailand before, you've seen these wall-mounted little hot water units. Um, one of them just died, and we had another one that started smoking. So anyway, we had a guy come out. He actually repaired, excuse me, he repaired one of them, and we had to buy a new one, and he installed that. So that's what that is. We needed one hot water repair and one hot water heater repair and a new one. So that came to 1902.83. Um, I don't know why I don't have anything in my Vice column. Maybe I just had stuff left over from the previous month. I may have bought it. If there's a sale, I sometimes buy extra. When I say I take cannabis, right? Like I use gummies. I don't smoke. Well, I do smoke vape, which is probably bad for me, but the science really isn't on that yet, I guess. Okay, so girlfriend, her salary, we talked about that before. Doctor, this is anything related to the doctor, including the fact of, bear with me a second. Um, you see this number here, the 17091.03. That's the cost of my MRI that I have to get once a year. So I basically, let me just calculate this out. 091.03 divided by 12. So the doctor column is always going to start at 1424.25 Thai baht because that's basically the MRI divided by 12 months. And that's a yearly thing for, I think, 2 more years. And then I won't have to do that anymore. So anything above 1424.25 is whatever I spent at the doctor. I had a cold or something, I went to the doctor. It could be anything. Prescriptions, again, this always starts at 481.58. Well, it will end shortly, but basically, I purchase my ED meds in bulk and just break it up over a year. So it always starts at 481.58. That's so I bought a shitload of ED meds because the more you buy, the more the cheaper they are. So um, that was like 5,778 baht. But that's like well over a year's worth supply, really, for me anyway. Um, so in any case, I take that 5778.96 divided by 12, come up with 481.58. So this column always starts there. Anything above it is my maintenance medication. So that came to 1916.58. This one, let's be honest here, right? When you live in Pattaya, I'm not saying I engaged in anything unsafe. I always use a protection in any case. But the way I look at it, it doesn't hurt to get yourself checked out. So the last time I was in Pattaya, I went to this clinic and I got the whole shebang testing of, and this is for, STD type test. This test covered like everything, and I mean everything. It wasn't cheap. It was 7,950 baht. But hey, look, you want peace of mind. Even though, look, I'm using protection. I'm not being unsafe. But that doesn't solve everything, right? In any case, for peace of mind, I went and spent this money. Um, Now that I have a girlfriend, I kind of am probably not going to do that again unless something happens. But you guys know what I'm talking about here. So anyway, that was 7,950 baht. I divide that by 12, comes to 662.50 per month. Um, Lottery hit 400 on that. Withdrawal free from the bank, 10 baht. Visa, I've talked about this many times. 1983.33 is what I put away for my Visa. No clothes, no haircuts. Aircon cleaning, I mentioned this before, that was 1,600 baht for 3 units. So that, comes to 133.33 per month. And that's going to be an ongoing expense. It's just going to have to be done every year. I kind of put the date in here so I know when we have to get it done again. Um, Car registration, same thing. It's going to be an ongoing expense. Now the number might change, but this is what it is currently. It was 2508. Divide that by 12. Car insurance, 20,500 baht. Divide that by 12. These are ongoing expenses. Are always going to be there. I kind of put these dates in here to remind me. Hey, I think our car insurance is going to expire soon. That kind of thing. Um, Motorbike. I put motorbike insurance. This really isn't insurance. This is a registration. I don't know why I put insurance, but we have to register the motorbike. I think it may be insurance. I don't even remember. My memory is not good these days, probably due to the cannabis. In any case, I believe that was for a registration. Car wash, 200 baht. I don't know why it was only 200 baht. It's usually 280. Um, Gas for the car. That's one fill up, 1330. Internet, 588.50. That is for two routers for each house. My phone, 208.33 per month. That's again, I have AIS unlimited internet. It's like 5,000 baht or something, and I just divide that up as a monthly cost. Here's the one that bothers me the most, the Vietnam trip, where I broke it up over the year. Next time I'm not going to do that. You'll see that in my Pattaya trip this year. I'm gonna, it's gonna be this month. I'm just gonna put it in there what it cost and take the hit for this month, and then try to make it up over the year. Um, my girlfriend's phone, I went over that before. She needed a new phone. I mean, that's it. I just broke that up over 12 months. I don't know why. Something like this. Next time something like this comes up, I'm just going to put it in there and take the hit for that month because this is just too. These things are just too much to break up over a year, I think. And they're not really like recurring costs or anything. I'm just going to take the hit that month from now on, and I will let these expire, like the Vietnam thing. I'm going to leave it in there because April it's just going to fall off, you know, because I started doing it that way. I wish I didn't at this point, but it's six in one, half a dozen in another, right? Like, I could either take the hit all in 1 month or break it up over 12 months. The number's still going to come out the same. I just don't like the way it looks. So anyway, in September, well, let me. So here's let me keep going here. So I was under by 1959.84, which resulted in a bonus for the girlfriend of 195.98 Thai baht, which is 10%, which basically left me over by 1,763.86. However, I took a trip to Pattaya in uh, September, well, that month, and I spent 38,200 baht. So I'm just adding that in there, and it's a hit. That's the hit. I came in under 436.78 Thai baht. But look, if you guys just come here and live, if you're already living in Pattaya, you won't have these expenses. So you can kind of like, that's more for me than you guys. But so, if I had just not gone to Pattaya, or if you live in Pattaya, you're already there. I came in under. So let me get that number, because I am, even with all these numbers, I am horrible at math, and I do need a calculator. So 1763 point, what is it? 86. So I spent 68, 236.14 for the month of September, which, obviously I'm happy with. Technically I'm under, but then I had to go to Pattaya. So for me, I'm over. But for you guys, you can look at this either way you want. Depending on where you're going to live, are you going to be traveling? This might help you out. If you're not going to be traveling around, you can just, it is what it is. All right, let's move on to October. So let's get up to the top. Oh, I blew it already. You got to see the totals. All right, so 70,000 baht budget. Uh, 2350.53 for electric, and that's aircon. That's pumped up because of aircon. Water, we did have water that month, 330 Thai baht. That's 2 months worth of water. No cooking gas. My catch-all of everyday expenses type thing, excuse me, is 36 to 267.81. This month I purchased like a desk, not a computer desk, a desk, a chair, a mat for the chair to protect the floor, and basically some stuff for Christmas that's coming up, like I ordered a tree off of Lazada and all that. So in any case, that came to 3801.15. My Vice column, 5,040 Thai baht. What I did with that is, like I told you, I take gummies, right? So I spent 5,150 baht on that. Now, if you don't do any of this is just better good for you, because you're just going to have more money in your account. Every time I open up a bag of gummies, it's 510 baht. I charge myself, right? So vapes, they're 375 each. Like, so I'm just kind of, I put the number in as I'm using them, kind of. So if that makes sense. The girlfriend, her salary, doctor. Again, this starts at what was it? 14. Where the hell is it? Bear with me here if I can find it. I can't find it. So that always starts because of my MRI of 17,091.03. Uh, so this number here is my MRI. That's what it costs to get an MRI up in Isan. Um, So this number always starts at 1424.25. That's just to break up the MRI over 12 months. Still gonna have to do that for another 1 or 2 years, I forget. So anyway, anything above 1424.25 is doctor visits. Prescriptions, again, this starts at 481.58. Anything above that is my maintenance meds. Here's the Pattaya Clinic. I talked about this already, of what that was. Lottery 600, no bank fees, visas, that stays the same. 1983.33. No haircut. Well, my girlfriend cuts my hair. Nothing from Lazada except the Christmas stuff that did come from there. Aircon cleaning, I talked about how I do that. Car registration, car insurance, all the same kind of deal there. Um, Motorbike registration. It was a registration. I must have changed. I put insurance in the last one for whatever. Um, so that's the registration for the motorbike. Did get the oil changed on the car and whatever else they do. They check all the fluids and all the other stuff. I did opt for the synthetic oil and all that stuff. So that came to 1,800. So that's an ongoing thing, right? You got to get your oil changed, especially in this hot weather. I mean, it breaks down easier. You got to be real careful with that stuff if you have a car. Um, Car wash 280 baht, gas 2550. That's probably two Phillips. Internet. We switched to AIS. The internet bill is a little bit higher this month because we had to pay off the old bill. Then you have new bill expenses. I think there might have been an installation fee. I don't really remember. But for internet, it came to 1110.30 Thai baht. And that was just to get the new internet. We weren't really happy with the old one. We had a company called NT, which I did have when I lived in Pratamnak, and they were okay there. But out in Nissan, they saw. And I'll be honest, the internet out here it's good, but it's not great. Let me put it that way. You got a lot of like times it drops and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's because where I live or what. Okay, so phone 20833 that stays the same. My Vietnam trip and so my girlfriend's phone. Again, I wish I didn't do this way. I'm not probably going to do that anymore. So here's the so I was actually under, or I'm sorry, I went over uh 10,206 spots. So I spent 80,206.98. Obviously, there's no bonus for the girlfriend or something like that. And then I went to Bangkok. Now, I'd spent in Bangkok, this is like holiday spending. I'm not proud of this in any way, shape, or form. But I think it's a reasonable amount to spend in Bangkok, I guess. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what you're there for, what you're doing. I spent 10,548.33 per day. So this month, October, two of those days were in October, and one of the days was in November. So I basically just broke it up as 2 days worth of the trip here, and that brings me down to under over 31,303.64. Now, remember, this is me being a bonehead and wanting to go to Bangkok to have fun with my friends, right? You don't have to do this. So you might, if you're not going to be doing stuff like that and you're trying to, be like me, um, you would be under 10,000. Oh, I'm sorry, over 10,000. That's why it's red. Over 10,000 to 698. It is what it is. I do this, it's not like I'm going to hang myself because, I went over. This is just so I know where my money's going. So when I look back, I can say, hey, all right, well, here's some things maybe I can change, right? This is how you do it. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm going to immediately make the second video to cover November and December and get that caught up. All right, guys. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll be talking to you soon.